Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu. Pakhair ragale. Ni hao. Chuna shumme. Washmale. Ohai gazaimis. Guten Morgen. Hola. Bonjour. Privyet. Kaifahal. Hale shama chatore. Ahlan wasalan marhaba. And a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside the very amazing Shiza Hashmi and Shazad Khan. Hello, Shiza. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm great. I'm great. It's a bright, almost bright day outside, and I had a very filling keema paratha for breakfast. So I'm
Wow.
doing great. How are you doing?
I'm absolutely perfect. And please don't ask me what I had for breakfast
But
because
what did you?
it's a long list. But
Okay.
before we talk about that, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, today the weather over here in Islamabad is not very dry. It was raining. There was a little bit of drizzle as well.
Yeah.
Please make sure that you keep an umbrella. But since you mentioned about keema paratha, wow, man, and you enticed me almost. But talking about food, that's what we're going to do today, ladies and gentlemen. But other than that, whenever you go out, please make sure, first of all, that you wash your hands.
Yeah.
And whichever restaurant you go to, please make sure that they serve hygienic food. This is very important. This is a public service message
Yeah.
for you guys. But let's get started. Top stories coming up. Let's take a look.
take a
Good
look.
morning. मैं खा लेता हूँ.
A Scottish mountaineer has been rescued after 36 hours of search through a drone in Skardu. The search operation through a drone in a mighty Karakoram mountain range is the first of its kind.
Why do they even go there, man? When they know that they're going to get lost. But congratulations. The man who holds more Guinness World Records than anyone, Ashrita Furman, proved once again he's a cut above his nearest competition, setting a new record for slicing the most watermelons in half on his own stomach in 1 minute.
How do you get these ideas?
I mean, why would you even do that? Yeah? I mean, who's going to eat all of these watermelons?
But whatever we say, he has a record. Well, moving on, first ever driverless shuttle debuted in New York's Times Square. The boxy electric bus bounced along a 150-yard section of Broadway near 48th Street. It's fitted with special high-tech sensors, but it has no driver at the wheel. Is that a dream come true?
Well, it's not. What I'm trying to think is that in New York, it's hard. You hardly get space to actually drive, and then you get a vehicle which is driverless too. Well, I don't believe in it. I mean, it's dangerous. Last but not the least, where Fahim Ashraf bagged 5 wickets as Pakistan thrashed Zimbabwe by 9 wickets in third one-day international at Bulawayo. Pakistan take an unassailable 3-0 lead in 5-match series. Congratulations, Pakistan.
Congratulations, dude. The cricket scene is so on.
Yeah, it is. Because the World Cup's over. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these were the top stories, and now coming back to keema paratha because this is what we're going to do today.
Yeah.
So, Shiza, how much of a foodie are you?
Well, the term foodie, I don't think I'm a foodie, but I don't mind having golgappa stuff from different
Really?
places. I
That's
don't.
cool.
But I'm not a foodie. I think you are.
I am absolutely 100%. You can look at me, and every inch of me tells that I'm a foodie, and this is what I love.
Oh, but since you've been to Lahore and Karachi and places who are famous for food, which are famous for food, so do you feel like there's a difference in Lahore cuisine as compared to Islamabad cuisine?
100%, 100%.
Or is there such a thing as Islamabad cuisine at all?
Well, Islamabad's different. Islamabad's like very picky on, there's too much salt in it, there's too much sauce and whatnot. So people have their reservations. But in Lahore and Lahore, people do not have as much reservations as well because Lahoris, they're born to eat as well. But when we talk about Karachi people are very exquisite about what they're going to eat, and it needs to be served well. The service matters quite a lot. But talking about all of the cuisines, let me tell you that when I was in Karachi, my favorite cuisine was crabbing. So we used to go into the deep sea and we would cook crabs and crab cutlets and whatnot. Oh my God!
But that's so interesting. I
And
haven't had one ever, but it sounds so interesting.
People have a different feeling when they listen to the word crab.
Yeah.
But other than that, when we come down to Lahore, so we have got bhaje ke pai and nasir ki bong and whatnot. And all of these foods, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether they're hygienic, healthy, or whatnot. But when you eat them, you're on top of the world.
Are you a sweet tooth?
Yes, I am. And I love to eat molten lava, with cold ice cream.
Well,
that's
such
cool.
a basic answer.
Really?
Molten lava is such a basic.
Okay,
but
bread pudding.
Okay.
Is that fine now?
Works
What
for
about
now.
you? Do you have a sweet tooth as well?
I think I do. More than I love having general food, I feel like having cupcakes all the time.
No, but what is it with women that, they do not really eat much? Why?
I don't know how to answer that.
They cook, but they do not eat much.
Okay, I have to address this one. When I cook, I feel like the urge to eat is just finished while, you know, in the time that I'm cooking, that 1 hour or whatever. I don't feel like eating anymore. I love serving it to people, but not eating. I don't
Well,
know.
you haven't served us anything since the time you
I
joined
will.
the show, but it's perfectly all right. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to share a clip from the street foods of Pakistan
Oh,
as well.
yes.
Go ahead, take a look. And we've got some young, amazing people over here in the studios who are running some amazing food businesses. We'll be in conversation with them. We are going to talk about the food trends which are latest in Islamabad,
Yeah.
Karachi, Lahore, or in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Go ahead, take a look. Good morning.
How interesting was this? I am so super hungry, to be
Yeah.
honest. I feel like having another breakfast at this moment right
And
now.
you know, I'm one of those guys who can actually have nihari, halim, in fact, chicken
Absolutely love
kadai early
nihari.
in the morning too as well. And this is what the kind of breakfast I do as well. At times I think that I need to be more cautious because people these days in Islamabad are like, oh, you know, I'm going to have cereal. Please come on, man. I cannot do that. I'm a Punjabi, I'm a foodie.
Totally
and
gonna
I
have
love
a
this.
paratha in the
Yes.
morning.
But ladies and gentlemen, today what we've done is, and it is very different too as well, that you can call us in
Yeah.
and you can let us know what you had for breakfast. What did you, keema paratha?
Yeah.
Who has, I mean, why? Keema paratha?
I absolutely
Was that
love
the only
keema
option
paratha.
in the
To be
morning?
honest, yes. Yes, but
still,
it was
man,
great.
keema's nice. Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, you can call us in. You can let us know what did you have for your breakfast as well.
We'd love to
Whatever
hear
it may
from you.
be, or you can probably share what kind of cuisine you like, what kind of food you like. So you can call us on 920-9452. This is our number for today. For people from outside Pakistan, 009251 920-9452. And let us just get started.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's do the introductions now. So on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by somebody who opened up this restaurant, which is with the name of Kabacha, a very amazing name
Yeah.
because, you know, I can relate to it. Back in 90s, I think there was a drama serial where Behroz Sabzwari actually had the name of
You know,
Kabacha
that's
as
what my
well.
mom said when she found out the name was Kabacha.
Yes, and
But apparently it means something different. We're going to ask him.
yeah, I think it has to do something with kebab too as well because Pakistanis love kebab.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Asaf from Kabacha as well. Hello, Asaf. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys?
Walaikum salam. Absolutely perfect. Thank you very much for joining us. You look very amazing today.
Thank you.
And alongside Asaf, we've been joined by somebody. He's got a restaurant in F11 with the name of Baramda. He's been on the show earlier too as well. He's doing a great job. And he's earned some more respect as well over the years. He's none other than Mr. Hamad Youssef. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you? I'm doing great.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And
You're
last
welcome.
but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, he's a, oh my God, I mean, okay, I'll do it myself. Because this guy needs a special introduction. He's a,
Let's do it.
yeah, he's been a great friend over the years because I know him since probably I was in 8th or 9th grade. We used to
Okay.
roam around in the streets and we've got quite a lot of common friends as well. And there was a day when he actually walked up to his father and he said that, okay, whatever I've studied, let it be aside because I'm going to be a baking chef as well. And he's earned quite a lot of respect. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got Chaudhry Umair Khurshid from 401 Bakers as well. Hello, assalamu alaikum, Chaudhry Sahab, how are you?
I'm good. How about you, Shazad?
Absolutely perfect. Thank you very much for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, the irony is that all three of them have their restaurants and places to eat as well, but they never brought anything alongside them. So it's perfectly all right. Probably we can get some free meals after the show as well. But
Hopefully
Asaf, let's get the conversation started.
Let's start with what Kabacha means.
Yes.
Kabacha, to start things off, I'm not the owner of Kabacha.
Okay.
I'm the general manager.
Okay, okay.
So the name comes from kebab and chai.
Okay.
So it became Kabacha later on.
So which gives me an idea that basically you were serving Pakistani
Yeah,
cuisine.
we started off with a very typical Pakistani cuisine menu, but recently we've launched into a different set of cuisines as well.
Okay,
We have
perfect.
pastas, we have sandwiches, we have paninis. So what we did was we basically asked our customers who were coming in initially, what kind of food do you want? What kind of dishes do you want?
Right.
Yeah.
So these are the dishes that they suggested. So we
okay.
wanted this to be a place where people can come in, they've told us what they want, and we're providing exactly that.
And I got to know that Kabacha actually has an open mic night too as well, where
Yes.
people
Oh,
can
yes.
come in and
Yes.
sing. Why do you think it's important for cafes like these or restaurants like these to have open mics? Is it just to get people on board as well, so that
What
they can
sort
come
of
in? And
inclusion are you focusing on?
It is to get people in, of course, but mainly it's also to give back to the community.
Okay.
There are a lot of up and coming artists who are it's students, and a lot of them don't have the right opportunity. So we provide open mic nights. They can come in, they can perform, and
Okay.
if they're good enough, we take them live on FM 99 and we give them a whole new exposure.
Wow.
So it's a great and a new incentive that I haven't seen anywhere else.
And since you mentioned about the radio station as well, ladies and gentlemen, my first ever experience as a radio jockey was on this station as well. So Najib Saab, if you're
Was
out
that
there,
before you were a
thank
VJ?
you very much. Yeah, it was
Oh,
before that
okay.
as well. I was going to university. Moving on to you, talking about Baramda over the years, I know that it has grown because we, go to the gym right next to it as well. And
3 years approximately.
Yeah, 2 years approximately, because the first time when you came in, things were very different.
Yeah.
And that particular place where you've opened up a restaurant, it wasn't really very amazing because the roads are broken and
Yeah.
whatnot. So how do you think that the business has grown so far, talking about eatery business?
Well, I guess since the time we opened, we've seen a lot of new restaurants coming in, a lot of going out as well. So I think it's about those who sustain through the process,
Yeah.
and there's a whole lot of learning in this journey. And I think it's not just about the food that you serve; it's about the whole customer experience that you give.
Yeah, wow.
No, but
So-
Hamad, you studied media, right?
Yeah.
So did you always wanted to be or open some eating place or something? Did you always plan on doing so?
Well, not really. The media part comes in when I look after my whole marketing campaigns and my
Okay.
whole digital media myself. So I think that's where my expertise are actually implemented, and I think that's a great opportunity for me to rather than work for someone, I can
Right.
actually do what I want.
Well, that is great. And at this point of time, ladies and gentlemen, I need to mention it because when you fail in life, that's when you learn. See, when I opened up a cafe in F11, it was with the name of BMC Cafe.
Okay.
It
Oh,
didn't
that
work out
was- it
at
was
all.
yours.
And it was because of the fact that I only had like 4 tables in that cafe, and there was nobody who was coming in. The only
But when
thing
was this?
The only thing which was famous about BMC Cafe was aloo ka paratha. That's it. Nothing else. But moving on to you, man. Your journey is very different, and especially to get education, first class education, and then walking up to your parents and telling them, okay, this is what, because these people are not chefs. One is GM, one owns a restaurant.
Yeah.
But you wanted to be a chef yourself, first of all. How did it all happen?
It's a long story. I'll just cut it short. I was in
So
Canada.
tell us, we've got all the time.
I was in Canada. I was studying. I was there to do my bachelor's. One random day, there was this highway known as Highway 401.
Oh.
It connects Canada with America, and all the Canadian provinces. You just get on one highway and you get
You're
to see the whole Canada.
Okay.
I was traveling. My sister was there, so we stopped over at a petrol station to get ourselves a cup of coffee. It was really cold. So when I went inside the petrol station, like we have Shell and Total here in Pakistan, they had this small place where they had a small oven, and this old Canadian couple, they were making croissants.
Okay.
The smell, the aroma, it just clicked. I was like, I'm gonna have a couple of them. I bought a few. I came back in the car. I gave one to my sister. We started,
Driving.
we started driving. I was just thinking that I wish I could do something like this and target the highways of Pakistan when I go back. But it was only a thought.
Yeah.
When I came back in 2010. When I came back, so I started looking for a job. I started my internship in a multinational oil company. I knew I'm going to get the job, but I resigned. I left it.
Okay.
So that was the time when I told my parents I want to start a business, and they said, "What sort of a business?" I said, "I don't know. I just want to start a business, but I'll think of a business."
Okay.
So I ended up starting 401 in 2011. I opted to open up a small pickup point, a takeaway place in F7 PSO. What I did was I placed a counter. People used to come in, they used to get the stuff, and they could leave. So it started all from there, and it expanded. It's a very long journey with a lot of critics, with a lot of sarcasm to my parents, to myself, to my sisters, obviously, to my brother-in-laws.
Yeah. And your
And-
mother helped you quite a lot, right?
Yeah, she did. She lent me her kitchen.
Wow. Wow,
No,
that's
but
just
when
great.
you started, was that when you started, baking as well, or had you prior
No,
experience?
no,
with it?
I had no such experience of baking. I had two elder sisters. They used to do all that for me and for the house.
Okay.
So they both got married. One random day, my mother just, she was angry over something and she had to take it out. She said, "Okay, open the recipe book and, help me with something. It's Eid tomorrow, you should help me with at least a cake." So that is when I looked into the recipe book and I saw cocoa powder. I thought, oh, chocolate maybe, chocolate powder.
Yeah.
So I said it says 100 grams, so I'll just put 200 grams. So 2 eggs. I said eggs are healthy. Let's put 6. So in the end, it was not a cake. It was like really thick brownie, which I
might
ended
be
up
yummy
baking. Yeah. And someone at the house, she ate and she asked, "Who made this? Where did you get this from?" I said, "I did." So a lot of
So you improvised the recipe.
I improvised the recipe.
I think he does it every day in
I
his
kept
life
on
as
doing
well.
Now
that
he does
for a
it.
couple
Improvisation
of
is
months.
good. Yeah, but let's just move back to Asaf Awais. Asaf, since you're the general manager and you run a restaurant, what are the most common mistakes people make when they make a restaurant and they cannot run it successfully? What do you think are the most common mistakes?
There are a bunch of them. I mean, you can't say pinpoint at one mistake. The overall structure really matters. The owner really matters. The kind of environment you create for the staff really matters. Because I've seen in Pakistan, I've worked in different restaurants before as well. There's no concept of HR. So you have to improvise and you have to make sure that your staff is happy.
Yeah.
If your staff is happy,
Which
they'll
they
give you
cannot be, man. I think so.
you have to do to whatever extent that you can.
Yeah.
So if your staff is happy, they give out the best service that they can. They're not in that meh stage that they don't feel like doing anything. Secondly, it is that your menu really has to work for the market. You need to know what your market is. Especially in Pakistan, a lot of people want to go out, they want to eat, but they're very stingy with what they want to pay.
Right,
They'll
okay.
go to Karachi and get the same food, but they'll pay a lot more and they'll be happy with it. But in Islamabad, you have to be careful of your pricing and your menu.
Wow, that's just great, and which brings me to Hamad as well. So Hamad, because I know one of the guys, he's very amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, you might know of him as well, Asad Sheikh from Foodies R Us.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, and I think he's done quite a lot for different restaurants and the food scene over here within Pakistan. Now, when I was in conversation with him, he said that, the main focus should always be on how you design your menu.
Okay.
And that's where you run your business. So how did you come up with the menu which you currently have at Baranda?
I'd like to talk about this whole journey over here. We started off with breakfast. So breakfast, we started off with the idea of all-day breakfast.
Okay.
So we used to serve keema paratha and aloo paratha and all those stuff the whole day. And people used to come in and eat breakfast at 1 a.m. at night as well. But this fine day, I did an experiment. We did an experiment where we, joined 4 or 5 items from our menu and made a platter. So we called it the chef's platter.
Wow.
So and today that is one of the most popular items of our menu. So while we
What do we get in that platter? Sorry, I just
so
want
you have a portion of a soup, you have a portion of a pasta, you have chicken chili dry, which comes in the Chinese cuisine.
Wow.
You have vegetable rice, and then you have a fish and white sauce, and then it ends up with a brownie. So it's a whole meal clubbed into one platter.
Wow.
So we it came in with an option of chicken and beef. So what we saw was that people left everything in the menu and started focusing towards the platters. So now we call ourselves Baramda House of Platters because we introduced some more platters
Okay.
in the menu. So what I realized was that people want a bit of everything
Variety
in one
plate,
in one
right.
dish.
Yeah.
So adding to what Osaf just said, it's not just about the food. It's about your staff. It's about your HR. It's about your overall management as well.
Yeah.
So for us, platters worked out really well, and
But chefs are very important, they play a very important
Yeah.
role because they have this signature aroma as well, signature taste, and that's why people keep on coming back to as well. But to retain those chefs is a hard job. How do you do that? Because they're like, oh, Sabji, wo mujhe zyada paise de raha hai, main udhar ja raha hu bhai.
well, I think it's not about ज़्यादा पैसे दे रहा है when it comes to your chefs, waiters वगैरह में, and in the junior staff it does happen, but I think at least for us, our chef is quite loyal. I hope-
Is it hard to find a trained crew? Because when you're committed, you want the best for your restaurant, of course.
Yes, so basically the ideal way is to train your crew yourself so that you're not dependent on other trained people. So the best idea is to bring in inexperienced people and then train them yourself. But obviously for restaurants like us who don't have a very big HR and a very big training system, we do need to find good chefs. So we go to new places, eat out, and then propose a waiter to come over. So I think that's how it works.
Do you think that there's something of this sort, that, for example, if there's a new restaurant opening up, that all the other restaurant owners will actually go and check that place out, that, okay, you know how that is,
Well, I
how
usually
competitive it's going to
Does that happen?
I usually go to every new restaurant,
Okay.
but I try going after like a month, because in the first month every restaurant is a bit dicey and they do have problems going on. So it's better that you judge them after like a month,
Right, right.
when
Okay.
they're done
Fair
with
enough.
their operational and every
Cool.
kind of
Okay,
challenges.
so
yeah.
Omer, coming back to you, when you started, you know, it's a long journey for you, I know for a fact.
I'm having fun
And-
today, man.
I know,
Yeah.
You're so sleepy. So when you started, you were one of the very few bakeries in Islamabad, right? So over the time, what do you feel like, how has the competitive landscape of Islamabad changed in terms of bakery?
That's a technical question.
It has changed a lot. I would say it didn't change in the past 5 years, but since I would say 7, 8 years, but there's a problem with this generation. I would say with the generation, or with the whole nation.
Yeah.
I remember there was this roll paratha guy in F10. Shahzad, I'm sure you would know Temuri roll paratha.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
TRP.
TRP.
There was only one. He was a Bengali
Okay.
who lived in Karachi, and then he moved to Islamabad. He brought the roll paratha concept in Islamabad.
Okay.
And you know, everyone went crazy.
Yeah.
In a month's time, there was Karachi roll paratha, there was Lahori roll paratha, there was Islamabadi roll paratha, Shabir roll paratha, and you know, there are so many in F10, and I'm sure that there are around thousands right now in Panini Islamabad.
Yeah.
So this is what happens with, I think, each and every business which is apparently new or a little different from the others. One of my friends, she was doing a boutique business, and she was not a designer, but she turned into a designer.
Okay, I'm sorry that I have to cut you short, because we've got a caller, ladies and gentlemen. We have been joined by Salma from Islamabad, I guess. Hello, Salma. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Hello, Shahzad. I'm fine. How are you?
Allah ka shukr, alhamdulillah. I hope everything's great.
Yes, everything's going nice. Nice show, by the way.
What did you have for your breakfast?
I had French toast.
That's it. Salma?
Yes, I can hear you, Shahzad.
Oh, okay. How much of a foodie are you?
I'm very much of a foodie, yes.
So what do you love to eat the most?
I think for breakfast, since you're discussing breakfast right now.
Yeah. Discussing eating, that's it.
Yeah.
Because I've got an eating problem. I can eat anytime. Even if I wake up at night, I have to eat something.
Oh, and you have nice lucky genes to pull that through.
But that's true, I agree with that.
All right, but thank you very much, Salma, for calling in and letting us know that what you had for breakfast. But be considerate, people, that obviously we're sharing what to eat and what not to eat and what not. But please be considerate about all of those people who are out there on the streets. Make sure that if there's food left, give it to them. They'll have a nice time too as well. Moving back to Umair now.
Now, since you're talking about people in the streets, Omer, since you are in a position for so many years, do you feel like you have a responsibility on your shoulders that you
I'm
are
sure I
serving, the people who want to buy stuff from you? But what about the downtrodden segments of the society? There are children. I know I worked with you, so I know for a fact
Make it
that they
sound so serious, yeah.
it is serious. There are children who haven't tasted a cupcake in their life. Do you remember when we went to
we do.
places? So, what are you doing about that?
It is still, you were the think tank, I'm still thankful that you came up with the idea. You were the think tank. We're still doing it, alhamdulillah. We do it every Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
8% of my daily sale goes to charity. My daily sale does not only mean the profit, but my sale.
Okay.
It goes to charity. What we do is we calculate, we take that money out from the savings enough. And in the end of the day, we do cupcakes. We've started doing brownies for them as well.
Oh, nice.
We've introduced red velvet cupcakes for them as well. And we're doing cookies. And then my very generous customers, they keep on sending stuff, toys, goodie bags and stuff. So what I still do is, I do not go myself, but I encourage university kids and college kids who are very actively playing their part in the city. So we keep on, we do plan to keep on doing that as long as 401 operates in
No,
Islamabad.
but that's brilliant. You know, there was this one time we were doing this in the streets of F6. I don't remember. And
What
there
a
were
nice
kids.
place to find beggars. Wow.
Yeah, there were a lot of them actually.
Yeah.
So there were kids who were actually having the cupcake for first time, and we asked them what it means to you, and some of them were like, "It means birthday," and they didn't even know what the flavor was, and it was so amazing to be.
So
a
I'm
part
glad
of
that
this.
you guys are doing that as well. But I'm not sure whether all of them are doing it or not. But ladies and gentlemen, now what happens is that when you enter a restaurant, you know, you get customers where they have some different choices. They want something very different, which might not be in your capacity. You know, they can tell you to bake a probably cake, which you might not have seen ever in your life, or probably they'll come up with an idea that, you know, can you please give me this into this platter? So there are different choices which people make. And how vague can customers be? This is something which we are going to ask them, but after a short break, don't go anywhere, we'll be
Stay
right
tuned.
back. Because I'm one of those people who's actually going to go to a breakfast restaurant and ask for dinner. So can we do that? Okay, let's take a look at this trailer then.
I said I want my steak rare. Rare enough for you? You out of your mind?
Yeah. My boss said she'd fire me if I didn't get therapy.
I thought we agreed you weren't going to cook for me anymore. My God, this is so good.
So what are you doing? Reading a recipe, right?
Don't be ridiculous.
Say bye to your Aunt Kate.
Bye, Aunt Kate.
Bye, Aunt Kate.
I have no idea what to do with a kid, especially one who's lost her mother. I want you to take a week off. There has to be someone better suited to this.
Hi, I'm Charlotte. I don't need a babysitter.
Oh, I see you've brought something to read to Zoe.
Rapidly mutating deadly viruses.
I can't get Zoe to eat anything I make. Bon appetit?
What about fish sticks? Kids love them.
I can't believe I'm paying for these suggestions.
Will you please tell me the secret of your saffron sauce?
Who do you think you are?
Nicholas Palmer.
You bring a sous chef from an Italian restaurant? He said he wanted to work with you.
You're on fire.
You take care of those dishes, and I'll take care of these.
Your half is bigger than mine. Why are you so mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
I'm very mad.
This is my kitchen, and I'm not gonna let you take it away from me. This is who I am.
No, it's not. It's okay to let people in sometimes.
I know I'm doing everything wrong, but I promise you I'll always be here for you.
Kate, you're not doing everything wrong.
Aren't you cold?
He's late. And then...
I wish there was a cookbook for life.
You know better than anyone. It's the recipes you create yourselves that are the best.
Now, you know, this only reminds me that cooking is a passion, but it's also an art, a form
Yes,
of
it
art,
is.
right?
Yes.
It takes a lot of effort in one plate, only if you're passionate about it.
Exactly, and then at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you cannot eat the same food every day as well. And so what you need to do is that you need to look for choices as well. I mean, this is what happens to me.
Yeah.
You know, so one fine evening, I'm sitting down, and you know, there's everything in the fridge. So I'm standing right in front of it. Okay, what do I eat? What do I? Thank God that we've got food in it. And then eventually I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go out because I know one of the amazing places where you get some amazing beef burgers as well.
Okay.
You know, it's an F6 as well. Okay, I'm going to name it as well. Cannoli. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you need to check out the beef burger as well. But right now we're going to go for a short break. Don't go anywhere because when you guys are going to come back, we'll ask them what kind of vague things people ask or customers
It's
ask.
going to be about you.
Yes, let's do it. Go ahead. Good morning.
Welcome back to World This Morning. Hope you're having a good morning. We know we are, because we are talking about the best thing ever to happen to mankind.
Yeah.
It's food, you guys. We have in conversation with us very talented youngsters from Islamabad who are into this food business. And just before going to the break, Shahzad asked them, what are some of the vague things that customers ask you to do?
Yeah.
Have you ever faced such customers, by the way?
Of course, I mean, they come in every day.
Okay.
They're customers, so they're always right.
Hmm.
But having said that, the biggest demand is, can we get a tax redemption?
Okay.
Which is kind of, we can't do anything about it because
Kacha bill bana de.
Kacha bill bana de. And we have a system, we have a software in our system, so every time we close a bill, an update goes to the authorities.
Okay.
So we cannot have the tax removed.
Oh, right.
That's the biggest.
So how do you deal with that? What do you tell them?
We just show them the NTN number, and even then they're like, no, this NTN number is not right. I'm like, you have the bill, you can get it checked. So that's the best we can do.
But do you get customers who are like, okay, can we get some more discount, more discount, more
Yeah,
discount?
I think in Pakistan
to the point where they're like, give it to us for free.
For free.
Yeah, of course they do. But in Pakistan, I think it's a concept that if you don't bargain for something, they don't feel like they've really achieved it.
Yeah.
So they will always try. We usually give them a 10% off if we can in different situations. But yeah, usually it's like, can we get a discount? Can we get sometimes they come in, they want to have a dish. We know that they're not going to like it, so our staff is trained, obviously.
Okay.
So they will tell them, for example, it has anchovy butter in it. It's not going to be the normal butter. You're not going to like it. It's not going to be according to your taste palette. But they still want it. They try it, and
You
then
want them beforehand.
yeah, and then and then they have it, and they're like, oh, we don't like this.
No, but I have a question. Before you were into this, you were a customer as well.
Yep.
Did you ever ask for discounts or something?
I don't think I could bring myself to it.
Same.
I just couldn't.
I think about it, but I cannot.
Even if I know there's an option to redeem a certain discount, I can't ask for it. I'm like, if it's just given to me, fine, I'll take it. Otherwise, I can't.
Okay, Hamad, what about you? Since you guys have platters, I'm pretty sure you get a lot of vague demands.
Yeah, so
how do you cater
a
to
lot
them?
of instances. I would just like to quote a recent incident from Ramzan here, where we used to get calls from like a group of 5 who used to ask us if 2 of us can pay and the other 3 can share.
Okay.
So we used to tell them it's about the seats, not about the food, since it's a buffet. And other people used to, ask for takeaways in buffets, like, can we get our food packed? We didn't eat properly, so can we take it home? So a lot of things, yeah. And about platters, we usually get this demand in steaks. There's this customer, I won't name him obviously. He usually asks us to give us half of the steak in beef and half in chicken.
Wow.
So that's quite a challenge. But
is that doable though?
Not
I think
really,
you can do that, if you've got a loyal customer. But other than that, this is when it gets weird.
Yeah.
So, okay, you know a guy who owns the restaurant. You're at his restaurant. He's not around. You call him, Johnny, how are you? I'm at your restaurant.
Do you do that?
No, I don't do that, but you certainly call him to ask for a free meal as well.
Exactly.
And I just don't like it. Does that happen?
And I do get surprised because if if the bill is of ₹1,000 and you get a 10% discount, it's just ₹100 and you make a call for 20 rupees and ask me, you talk to me for 5 minutes and then ask for a discount. And some people who probably earn more than 5 lakh per month still do the same. They do call me and ask for discounts, but I think it's more of something they're proud of, that we know the owner and we
this is what Asaf said, that you haven't achieved it,
Yeah.
So Umair, what about you, man? Because cakes I've seen in all shapes and sizes and designs and whatnot. There are times I've even thought that, how can the baker actually bake this cake, because it's just so weird to have it around.
Exactly.
How does that work for you?
It's a challenge every day. It's a challenge with each and every order, in my case.
Yeah.
Each and every design is totally different. Again, we do customize cakes and cupcakes. So, they want the whole world, but they want a 1 pound or 2 pound cake.
Yeah.
Okay, they wouldn't want a 3 or 4 pounds, so I can add everything. But they would still argue, why is the minimum order 3 pounds?
Yeah.
Why can't you do it in 1 pound? And I would say, the customization, the fondant we make, it has weight.
Yeah.
So eventually, in the end, you'll only get fondant. You won't get any cake. जिसको हम देसी ज़बान में sponge कहते हैं.
Yeah.
But they would still argue. The other day, this lady came. She was like, the base is supposed to be light pink because the backdrop of the birthday banner is light pink. Like,
I remember this too.
No,
we use imported food colors. They comes a palette. It has a palette. It has proper color codes written, and I used light pink. It said light pink. The WhatsApp conversation said light pink. The guy took the cake to her in the car and she's like, ma'am, this is your order. She's like, this is baby pink. I said light pink. I'm like, whoa. He came back with like, she says it is.
Guys usually have a lot of trouble with colors.
Yeah, I think so, because half of the time I
light
just can't
pink and
even judge
baby
colors.
pink is almost the same. There is no baby pink or light pink.
Yeah, okay, but now I've got a very different question for you. And I'm sorry that I'm asking you, but we are on television, so you have to be cautious about what you say about it. What is the most weirdest design you've made ever in a cake, man? I'm sorry that I'm asking you.
We'll talk about this later.
No, but still, I want my imagination to explore more and more as well, so I just want to know if you can say it on television.
No, we'll just talk about this later.
So, ladies and gentlemen, imagine what people can actually request for as well. But other than that...
And he can make them.
Yes.
Wow.
You can pretty much make everything. Thank you very much for bringing that to Islamabad too as well.
Yeah.
You do have certain competitors too as well. They're doing a great job. But other than that, within the food business, hygiene, cleanliness, service is very important.
Yeah.
How do you look after that?
We obviously have a checklist which the staff has to follow in the kitchen. Secondly, for the customers who are coming in, we don't have it's our window, the food pickup window. You can, if you're standing nearby it, anywhere near it, you can look into the kitchen and see how clean the kitchen is.
Okay.
So that gives the customers a sense of relief that we know where our food is coming from. Again, after that, we follow international standards with the gloves, masks, everything. You cannot have a beard in the kitchen. You cannot have long hair. All of that is really important.
Wow, great. What about you?
I think it's the same practice everywhere, and we don't have a pickup kitchen, so we don't have a pickup window, but we do, offer free visits to our
Anybody
customers.
who's in the restaurant?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, a lot of people do fancy visiting kitchens, so they're always welcome, and we do help them.
I think that's great. But for you, Mary, I think it's different, because people come, they
I'm
take
in
the
the
cake
kitchen
away.
myself 24/7, so one has to stay on his toes 24/7.
Yeah.
So
Do you get like visits from food authorities, people coming in to check whether these facilities clean or not?
Yes, we do. They can come anytime, any day, without informing again, obviously, and they would not go back without giving you a fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if
I'll
everything's
just stay
fine.
honest. I'm sure that there's going to be one chapa anytime soon in my kitchen as well, once again, but they do not. I got fined because I was supposed to make a banana bread that day. We do not use bananas in the kitchen because none of my cake flavor has banana inside.
Okay.
So I on my way, my mother asked me to make a banana bread for her. So I had to buy bananas. I bought 6 of them. I went to the kitchen and bang came the chapa team. They saw the bananas. They saw each and everything. They saw all the expiries. They gave me a fine because the bananas did not have an expiry. And I said, sir, where do I find a banana which has expiry? He said, that is your job. That is not my job.
Oh
and
my God.
he gave me ABC.
Well, thank you very much for raising this concern too as well, because I think one of those people, since they're officials and they think that they're officers, and since we are going out and we're doing something, so we
let them
might
stay
probably
officials,
just find them as well.
Yeah.
But if it was about bananas, that was very unfair.
It's
What
kind
about
of
you?
like if a policeman is out to give you a ticket, he will find a reason to give you a ticket.
That's true.
So they come in, a lot of times they're not really there to have a conversation. They come in, they have to write something, and they have to
I'm sorry, but you remind me of something, because it was 1 at night. After midnight, I was driving, ladies and gentlemen. It was very dark. The street lights weren't working, so I was using the beam. And here comes a traffic police, and he was like, "Sir, where are you going?" I was like, "What happened?" "Sir, you're on beam too as well." And I was like, "So what do I do? It's very dark already." "So fine, here you go." So I mean, come on, there are people who are doing their jobs at that point of time. They need to do something. So we need to give them space as well.
And in Islamabad, in addition to all of this, in Islamabad, I don't know if you guys have witnessed, but it is very unfortunate that there is a political pressure behind all these chapas as well. You could send a team
people
to
tell
mine.
other people, or go to his business.
This is what happens. It's a very dirty market. This is what happens.
Sad. And then how do you work it through then? I think this is something which is
Well,
very important.
recently, talking about the political chapas, it recently happened with us. Someone from our neighbors complained that we're using LPG cylinders. So they came in and fined us, although everyone is using the same, because we don't have natural gas here in our buildings and in Pakistan commercially. But still, I told them that everyone else is using it as well. So they told me that we'll soon be sealing all of them. It's been 6 months, but everyone is still working.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know why we were fined for that.
Okay, I know that there are problems, but let's just keep them aside, because when the show started, the energy was cool. Now we're coming down to the challenges, and these challenges are going to stay there as well. But whatever tips you have for all those people who think that they're going to open up a restaurant, go ahead, talk to them, tell them how to do it.
It's a lot of hard work. If you think it's easy, it's not. It's if you're opening a new business, you have a restaurant especially. You have to be there for 12 hours each day in the first year at least. You have to make sure that what you're offering is acceptable to the market. The taste palette of the customers matches up to your food. Again, in Islamabad especially, the pricing is the most important thing because not everyone does not like to spend a lot of money. So that is the main thing.
Okay, so these were quick tips from Asaf, ladies and gentlemen, who's the general manager of Kabacha. Yes, that's what it is. What about you? What are your
well, I
tips?
guess if you join the army or open up a restaurant, it's quite the same. The duty is quite the same, and it's not something where you can follow your timings. You cannot say, I'll go at 8 a.m. and then I'll be back at 6 p.m. There are times when you go at 8 a.m. and then you forget what the time is, and then you just come after the restaurant is closed. A few tips would be that do not just focus on, your branding and all those things. Do focus on your food as well. If your product is strong, wherever you're located, if you just have a kitchen, people will just come and take away your food and get it delivered. But you need to have a very strong product. And a third tip would be that don't open up a restaurant in Islamabad these days because we already have a lot of competition coming in. I think untapped markets like Murray or all these places do have a lot of potential. So instead of opening up in the heart of Islamabad, you should explore more.
Well, probably, I think I've got another idea too as well because it's different for you. Now, what I want is that, for example, that we walk into a bakery, we order a cake, we sit over there and we eat over there too as well. I think that's amazing. Do you think it's going to happen in future?
Yeah, I don't know about anyone else, but I do plan to start live baking.
Wow.
We'll give you an option. They're ready-made cakes, they're ready-made cupcakes available. If you want, you can, give us 15, 17 minutes. We would just, bake your cupcake.
Take my money. Just do it.
Bake your cupcake. You can do the icing yourself. I do plan to bring in this concept here in Islamabad at least. Apart from that, anyone who wants to open up, I would talk about my business or anything related to bakery. This is a lot of commitment. You play around with people's emotions. You screw up one little thing, one little face, and they would screw your life over. So yeah, it's dedication, commitment, a lot of hard work. They're very minor things one has to see. Because eventually a customer is always right, and you have to stand like this all the time. I'm like, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. My 99.9% of the clientele is women, so it is very tacky and it gets very hard convincing them to to try out a new flavor, to try out a new design. They would want the same design which we've already made.
Because they know best. Women know best.
They know everything.
Customers always right.
So before wrapping up, just a quick question. What is the future of Islamabad cuisine? Any one of you can answer.
It's getting better day by day. I think it will get better eventually, and I still think we have people from all over Pakistan. We do not have, we have very less pure Islamabadi left in Islamabad. We've got people from Lahore, we've got people from...
it's a blend of everything.
It's a blend of everything. So for them, I am sure each and every restaurant owner is trying their best to bring in, a taste from Karachi, a taste from Hyderabad, a taste from Punjab, from KPK, from Gilgit. I recently went to a cuisine which was serving Hunza food.
Okay.
So that was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
the more restaurants that come into Islamabad, the more the quality and the standard goes up.
Okay.
So, and the more the population is going to grow, ladies and gentlemen, the more the need is for food as well. But do not forget to write to us because of the shortage of time, ladies and gentlemen. We have to wrap it up very quickly. But please make sure that wherever you go to eat, make sure that the food's hygienic. It's up to the standard as well. It's up to the mark. Because we don't want you guys to be sick because you got to watch our show. So do write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of
World This Morning.
On Twitter.
World This Morning -G.
On Daily Motion and YouTube.
World This Morning.
And this fabulous repeat is going to be at
11:05 in the night.
So till the next time, 1, 2, 3, good morning.